Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards because Commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Daniel. I am joined with the gang. We've got Sherman, we've got Brian, we've got Slothy. Sherman, how are you doing today?
I'm so tired. I can't wait for the holiday season to be over. I'm hoping that you guys do not feel the same way.
Yeah, I feel the same way for sure. I've been working a lot. I got to go to work after this again. We're recording early, but never ends. The grind doesn't stop. People want more food at this time of year. Slothy, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing pretty good, thanks. Thankful I'm not doing anything remotely customer service related.
It'd be gross. Yeah, at least I don't have to deal with people. I just have to deal with the road, which, by the way, delightful. Last year, like it was minus 40 last year. We had to have our truck. We have a huge shop. We had to have our trucks in the shop to keep them actually running to start. And like this year, it's 1 degree. Cruise control the whole way. Delightful. And Brian, how are you doing?
Oh, I am peachy. I deal with customers.
Womp, womp, womp.
Oh, luckily it's been good. Well, I'm dealing with business customers, so luckily they share the same holidays that we do, and it'll be quiet days. I work Christmas, though. It's gonna suck.
I was about to say you're probably lucky you're not on residential. I've had some words. I've had some words. Yeah, my internet hasn't been good. That's where I've been the last few weeks, was just internet, driving, busy, living the dream, the no sleep dream.
As soon as you were explaining it, I was like, I've had this problem before, and it sucks.
Yeah,
I think last time it took seven service calls.
Right,
it's fantastic.
I feel bad. I try so nice. Try so hard to be nice.
Okay, I guess this is a little off topic for us, but some good fun. I do tech support, and I like to think that I know things, right? Like I feel confident in my knowledge of like the Internet of things. So I have this technician and it's a problem, and the guy's like, well, first things first. He's like, you need to separate the network, the 2.4 and the 5G. I was like, all right, but how does that affect like my hardwired computer? Yeah, it's just I'm gonna have an open mind. I'm gonna be like be very polite about this, but it's like I don't get it. But do you know what? I'll try it. I haven't had like 3 other technicians already come and go, maybe we haven't separated the networks yet.
It's an interesting one, yeah. But I want to get into this. So we had a totally different episode planned for this, and then Twitter leaks happened, and so I've got to give a few forwards about this. This is going to be another Rule Zero deck. It's there's a few things to go over with this. First and foremost, you're going to have to talk to your playgroup. This is not technically a legal commander because you can't get it. It's one of the Heroes of the Realm gifts that was given out for charitable work, basically for people who helped with like Trevor Project fundraising, Black Girls Code, like just lots of like just charities in general, right? Wizards does a lot of outreach and lots of great charities, by the way. The full list I'll have in the show notes, or at least a large list of them. But first and foremost, you're going to have to talk to your group about playing this because it's a Heroes of the Realm. So we do have an alternate legal commander. And if somebody doesn't want to play this, the deck's still going to function. It's just going to, you'll see. But so that's the first thing. The second thing is that because this is Elusen the Giving, it talks about something in the card that's not technically a keyword. So we kind of have to hash out a definition of what it means. So I'll read the card first. Elusen the Giving is possibly one of my favorite cards that's ever been printed. It's Daniel bait for sure. Elusen the Giving is a red, a green, a white, and a blue. We have an Angel Advisor, 4/4, Flying, Vigilance, Lifelink, Haste. Those are great stats.
Yeah.
At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, the player to your left gains control of Elusen the Giving. So we're always giving Elusen around the table. 4/4 Flying, First Strike, Lifelink, Vigilance, Haste. It's a lot. Take a breath for this. Then, whenever a player donates a permanent to another player, the donating player draws a card, gains a life, and creates 3 treasures. Now, that's pretty easy to understand with Elusen, right? If I give it to Brian, I've donated it to Brian. Brian will, because I donated it over, I draw a card, gain a life, creates 3 treasures. Brian, at the turn to give it to Sherman, has donated Elusen to Sherman. He gets the effect. We get that. But when else would this trigger, right? What does donate constitute? And in my opinion, donate constitutes giving something, right? Are we all on board with that? If Sherman gives me something, then it's that. Like it's the okay.
We had a chat about this morning, so I'm interested to see where you're going with this one.
So again, I've named this deck simply Elusen Gift Exchange. We'll get into it. We have to just, like I said, we've narrowed down our line of thought. Now, another caveat: you can die very, very easy to this because 21 damage from a commander will kill you, and people can hit you with your own commander, and it goes around the table. So it's pretty fast that this 4/4 can, you know what I mean? If you're not being friendly to the table, 12 damage around.
If you give this to Sherman's gonna sacrifice it. We already learned that in the last couple episodes.
I don't think he will. So yes, number one as well. No, I guess more like number 5. This is a really, really budget friendly deck. If you remove my land base, it's like $120 minus. I guess you'd have to proxy the commander because it doesn't exist. But if you're able to, Atomic Ashes. That's all I'm saying. Wink, wink. I've got some on order. Let's jump right into just our artifacts. This is I can't wait for you guys to see the theme of my gift exchange. I plan
Which
to.
one do you want us to jump into first?
We'll go into artifacts, and I plan to celebrate with all of you guys with this deck. Just keep this in mind. I'll start us off with our simple Arcane Signet. We're a 4-color deck without any colorless pips. We need colored mana. So Arcane Signet, 2-drop. We add 1 mana of our color's identity. Easy.
I'll grab this next one here. All right, so we have the Bucknard's. What is that? Bucknard's Ever Full Purse. 2 CMC. You can tap it or pay 1, tap it, roll a d4, and create a number of treasure tokens equal to the result. That the player to your right gains control of Bucknard's Ever Full Purse.
We've donated our first card. We're at the top of the list, and here we go. We're already getting the trigger.
I like that.
And
I like that a lot.
The fun thing is that you don't have to control Elusen for that to trigger. Anyone who donates at any time while it's on the field will get that ability. So with Elusen out, you're going to roll your d4, get your treasure tokens, then get 3 treasure tokens, a card draw, and a life. Who could be upset with this?
That guy. That guy right there.
No, never.
It lines up perfectly. Sherman's below me.
Slav, you want this next one?
Sure. Next up, we've got Chaos Wand, 3 mana. 4 and tap it. Have target opponent exile cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost, then put the exiled cards that weren't cast this way on the bottom of that library in a random order.
Hear me out.
Card.
You are technically giving me this. You have technically donated me a spell. Technically, on our definition, I did say that giving a card to another player is going to be that, right? So with Chaos Wand, you have donated. So it's less feel bad, right? You're gonna donate a spell to me, whatever instant sorcery we roll to. It's who knows, and you're gonna get 3 treasures for it and a draw.
So when I was playing Excel, and when I gave you 3 poison counters, and then I moved to my end step, and you donated.
Yeah, but that was my land. That I wasn't donating that freely.
You said, hey, whatever a player gives another player is a donation.
That land wasn't given freely.
Some of these cards are going to be given freely.
But yeah, so technically, again, we're getting there. But like I said, you really got to nail down this definition before this game starts, because donate's not a keyword. So I'm counting it as a donation. Please, Sherman, take our next one.
Oh, I don't know if that counts as a donation, but we'll say it is for the sake of things. All right. Next card, Contested Game Ball for 2 mana. Whenever you're dealt combat damage, the attacking player gains control of the contested game ball and untaps it. For 2 mana, you draw a card and put a point counter on contested game ball. Then if it has 5 or more point counters on it, sacrifice it and create a treasure token.
I think this one is a much more cut and dry donation than Chaos Wand is. I feel like it should say gains control somewhere.
That's fair.
I feel donating it has to be a permanent of some sort as opposed to a
That's
spell.
fair. All right. So Chaos Wand, I may not convince the group. That's all right. We do go to Crown of Doom though. It's 3 mana. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, it gets +2/+0 till end of turn. 2 mana. Target player other than Crown of Doom's owner gains control of it. Activate it only during your turn. So I'm giving people an ability. Again, we can pass this around. This is going to keep, I hope, my commander away from me. I really hope. For 2 mana, you're basically able to, with this card out, you're getting the gift of 3 treasures, a draw, and a life. We're looking pretty good here. That
Shouldn't have said gain control, Sherman. You aligned with this.
It's really, really rough that you can only use this during your turn, because if this gets sent to the wrong player, you can have 3 turns of pain.
Yep.
Oh, I have so many ideas already.
Brian, take this next one.
All right. So we have the diamond pickaxe. It's 1 red, indestructible. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has, whenever this creature attacks, create a treasure token. And the equipped cost is 2. That's actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to go through my cards and pick those out.
My interesting way of looking at this one is diamond pickaxe is the equipment isn't creating the treasure token. The creature gains the ability to get the treasure token, correct?
Yes.
So if I'm tossing diamond pickaxe on my commander, that means that whoever's swinging with my commander is now able to get a treasure token as well as my commander every turn. We're really ramping the table with this. We're a group hugging. Slothy, please.
It's all right.
I don't know.
Don't show your brother this one. Because that doesn't need to go into Slicer.
That's where I found it, from his Slicer deck. Yeah. Slothy, you take this next one here.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Hithlane Rope. It is 2 mana. It can't be sacrificed. You can pay 1 and tap it to search a library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. The player to your right gains control of Hithlane Rope. Or pay 2 and tap to draw a card, and the player to your right gains control of the rope.
Really good with that ability, I think.
Yep.
I like the not sacrificing it, because Sherman, as soon as he was like, I'm gonna sacrifice this, I was like, you're a monster.
I'll take this.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll steal this next one so Sherman can have a better one. It's Howling Mine. I gotta put it in every deck. It doesn't matter the theme of the deck. We all knew it was in here. Howling Mine is my soul ring. It's in my actual soul. 2 mana at the beginning of each player's draw step. If it's untapped, that player draws an additional card, which is great. We want extra card draw, and we're giving card draw out willy-nilly, I would say.
Okay.
All right, Sherman, please.
Now we got the Jinx Choker for 3 mana. At the end of your turn, target opponent control of Jinx Choker and puts a charge counter on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, Jinx Choker deals damage to you equal to the number of charge counters on it. For 3 mana, you can put a charge counter on the Choker or remove one from it.
Ooh.
I would just load it up.
Infinite mana and hand it off to the next person.
Right? I like that.
That's funny. That's some good fun right there.
Well, I'll take this one too. We've got a Ketria Crystal. 3 mana. It's going to tap for a green, a blue, or a red. Again, we really need those colors. We want this commander online as fast as possible. And cycling is 2. So you can just cycle it to get a card draw if you don't need it later on. We have to remember that the turn that we get our commander out, we are in post-combat main phase donating it. So we're going to be up another 3 mana. We've got to remember that the minute this goes online, we're ideally, as long as our commander's not getting pathed or something like that, which you should be able to politics your way around, being like, hey, you're going to get your mana from this. And swing it at me if you need to, you know? And then we have another one, which is the Rogren Crystal. 3 mana. You can tap for a blue, red, or white with also cycling. And I guess I'll take the other one too. Soaring. It's soaring. I'm not describing it. So shiny ring of souls.
A bland metallic ring.
Yeah, it's card
with a galaxy in the middle.
It's card number 98 in all my decks. Like I said, so Howling Mine is number 99.
The next one though we do have is a fun one. We have Spectral Searchlight, which is 3 colorless. Tap it, choose a player. That player adds 1 mana of any color they choose. Unfortunately, this is not a permanent for you to gift.
Heck, I'm just saying, I am donating the mana.
Technically, it is a donation. It is a donation if you give it, but it's not a permanent, so it doesn't fall into that.
Again, you need a pen. You need a pen and paper to really get these definitions.
What if I use the mana to bring a permanent into play? No? All right.
Next up, we've got Victory Chimes. 3 mana, untap it during each other player's untap step, and you can tap it to have a player of your choice add colorless.
Semantics or not, we're donating a lot. I'm just saying there's a lot of donations going on in this deck.
Daniel's the guy with the ring bell this time of year. Donation.
I'm getting kicked out of the game store for going off with it. Hear ye.
Yeah, instead of having a banana with this deck, you got chimes.
Hear ye, hear ye. Everyone's like, can you stop? Sir. And then
Okay,
Sherman.
buddy.
Yeah, you want
Next
to.
one we got. Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, you end our artifacts here.
Okay, last one. We got the Wand of Wonder, 3 in a red. For 4 mana and tapping it, you roll a d20. Each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library. Until they exile an instant or sorcery card. Then shuffles the rest into their library. You may cast up to X instant and sorcery spells from among cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost.
I love this card.
Holy smokes. So 1 to 9, X is 1. 10 to 19, X is 2. And if you roll a natural 20, X is 3. What the hell?
I love Wand of Wonder so much. So far we're just in artifacts. We're having a good time. There's a lot of abilities for that commander ability to trigger. I initially had this like chocked full of things like a Sakashima, a Spark Double. I was like, but no, that's out of control because that means every turn if I'm passing 3 of those around, I risk 12-ish damage coming at me, and I'm giving every player 9 mana, 12 mana. It's a little too much. We gotta curb the enthusiasm.
I'm sitting here thinking like I would be really super heavy with enchantments. I would have the commander and all the clones as my creatures, and then that's it. Just
but then
But
you got to remember, you lose them. You lose them every turn.
Yeah. No. But I'll keep like Ghostly Prison, Aura of Safety, or Sphere Safety. Please pay if you really want to swing these back at me.
Let's what do we want to do section next week? I don't really have anything in the deck that like needs to be like the last, like the big finale. So maybe we want to just jump creatures.
Sure.
All right. Let me hit Archivist of Gondor first. A very cool one in this deck. 2 and a blue for a 2/3 human advisor. When your commander deals combat damage to a player, if there's no monarch, you become the monarch. That's wicked. It triggers on anyone's turn and it brings monarch in. And at the beginning of the monarch's end step, that player draws a card. We have a flying vigilance or flying whatever. It's a lot. Flying vigilance, lifelink, haste. The monarch's going to get passed around a lot, and we're adding an extra card draw to whoever is monarch. I like it.
I would have preferred if this commander didn't have haste.
Well, then you wouldn't be able to use it. It has
because it still passes.
Yeah, I know that, but it passes so that you get haste. So everyone who gets it like always gets it.
Yeah, but I would still get the treasures if I passed it.
Yeah,
that's all I would care about.
Yeah, but at least you get the attack in.
Nah, I don't care about that.
Let me tell you, I'm going to get walloped with this commander. I'm going to die to my own commander damage loss. Brian,
this is like talking about my gifts, and then you're talking about beating people.
Again, I'm giving gifts, Brian. There's more than 10 in the list.
All right, I'll give it to you there.
Yeah, speaking of gifts, take the next one, please. You tell me.
All right, we got Bazaar Trader, which is a goblin for a 1 and a red. To tap it, target player gains control of target creature or land you control. All right.
Okay, it's pretty good.
Seems fair.
Yep. It's I really like that. Again, this is ultimate group hug, kind of wink wink, little addendum. But I really do like that I can pass lands over to people, right? Because I'm gonna ideally have a stack of treasure tokens. I don't need my lands that badly anyways if people are having a bad game. Pass the lands, pass that. And a lot of these don't really matter who controls it, right? Archivist of Gondor, like, I don't need that on my field. It's doubling it up whoever field's on, right? Just like my commander, just like Howling Mine. You can take Howling Mine. I don't care. I'm still drawing my card. We're having a great time.
Fun.
Speaking of having a great time, this next card, I love it. We got Glunch the Bestower. 1 green and a white for a 0/5 legendary creature jellyfish with flying. At the beginning of your end step, choose a player. They put 2+1/+1 counters on a creature they control. Choose a second player to draw a card, and a third to create 2 treasure tokens.
Those are all technically donations. But again, we've landed on permanence. But again, this entire deck nearly is about trying to give things. I'm trying to give the gift.
Tis the season.
All right.
Oh yeah, the Sherman.
Yeah, we got the Goblin Cadet for a red. It's a 2/1 Goblin. Whenever Goblin Cadet blocks or becomes blocked, target opponent gains control of it.
Then in the rules text, what does it say?
If your kids don't stop that racket, I'm turning this expedition around right now.
I love it. This is a great way to just get another donation trigger off as well. It's going to take the goblin out of combat every time it's blocked. So whoever gets it is either cracking for 2 or getting a donation trigger.
That's what I just read, actually. I was like, interesting. All right. So it actually takes it out of combat.
Yeah. We have a Humble Defector as well. 1 and a red for a 2/1 human rogue. Tap, draw 2 cards. Target opponent gains control of it. Activate only during your turn. Make sure you have the different color sleeves on this. Get a unique color sleeves for your deck.
Yeah.
Should be giving these out.
Yeah. We want this next one here, Brian?
Sure. And this one, I kind of feel like I have to do like a Star Wars kind of feel to it. Karn! The Betrayer, 3 and a red. Legendary creature. Astartes Berserker. Berserker. Karn the Berserker attacks or blocks each combat if able. Sigil of the Corruption. When you lose control of Karn the Betrayer, draw 2 cards. The Betrayer, if damage would be dealt to Karn, the Betrayer prevent the damage, and an opponent of your choice gains control of it. And he's a 5/1. I didn't think there was going to be this many cards that it gets gifted that much.
I'm on theme, Brian. I was doing
you
something.
You are on theme. I'll give it to you.
It was the have you seen the I can't even remember. It's the skit show, and he's I can't. It's the I hate this place so much, or whatever it is. The Tim guy. He's.
I think you should leave.
That's the one. Yes, I think you should leave. Thank you. I'm tired. But it's I was building this with basically the same fervor as him in the drive-through thing when he whips back around. Stop, please! I'm doing something.
Oh, that.
There's a lot of donation in this one. We have the next one. I'll take. Actually, Sherman, you take the next one.
Where are we at? Oh, how do you spell it?
No idea. Caneos and Tiro.
Tiro.
They're the bros. They're close.
It's a red, green, white, blue. So human soldier, legendary creature, 2/8. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card. Each player may put a land card from his or her hand onto the battlefield. Then each opponent who didn't draw the card.
In a worst case, this is our second commander.
Mm-hmm.
The deck still functions. It doesn't. We just don't get treasures. We just don't get fun. But if somebody doesn't want to let us play it, then we focus our gift giving in one direction. Everyone gets it. Yeah, I like this. So again, we've got another group huggy card. We go into as well Lauren of the Third Path, one of the more expensive cards in the deck, surprisingly. It's 2 and a white for a 2/1 human artificer vigilance. When Lauren of the Third Path enters, you destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment, which is going to be our first kind of removal. I like it a lot. And then you and target opponent each draw a card. That tap ability is everything we want in something like this, right? We are, again, technically donating card draw, but not by our definition. But we are also able to take some of that sting of that removal away, just being like, don't worry, I'm going to give you some card draw with it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have your Smothering Tithe, but here you go.
Fair.
Are you saying Smothering Tithe? We don't need to do that.
Slothy,
Don't need to hurt my baby like that.
Who's taking this next one?
Let's get you to take it, Slothy.
Sure. We've got Master of Ceremonies, 3 and a white for a 3/4 Rhino Druid. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent chooses money, friends, or secrets. For each opponent that chooses money, you and that player each create a treasure token. For each player that chooses friends, you and that player each create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. For each player who chooses secrets, you and that player each draw a card.
I like secrets.
I like all of that.
It's a fun card.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said as well, technically all donations, we're donating to each other. A lot of triggers if we go that way, but I just like that. I love the vote mechanics, as everyone knows, right? Like, I think they're fun. I even often in games vote on if I should do something stupid. I'm like, should I stop this? Should I attack this player? I think it's fun. So any of the cards that actually vote. I wish this had vote for the Democracy Sphinx kind of deck, but meh, still voting.
The Democracy Sphinx.
I'm gonna skip you over here, Brian, so that Sherman can have this one because obviously.
So the next one is Perplexing Chimera, 4 in the blue. So it's 3/3 enchantment creature with a chimera. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may exchange control of Perplexing Chimera and that spell. If you do, you may choose new targets for the spell.
That's surely a donation. I'm giving you
this is a donation.
I'm giving you the chimera. I'm getting my donation trigger and your spell. Technically, as long as we're all friends, you're also getting a donate. You're donating a spell to me. We're all good.
Everybody's donating to everybody.
Oh, I love this one so much. Perplexing Chimera is great.
I like it.
Brian, do you want to take this next one?
Sure, I'll take it. We have Root Weaver Druid, which is 2 and a green elf druid. When Root Weaver Druid enters the battlefield, each opponent may search their library for up to 3 basic land cards. They each put one of those cards onto the battlefield, and the rest tapped under your control, and the rest of the battlefield tapped under their control. Then each player who searched their library shuffles it this way. Sorry, gotten distracted here with a cat on my lap.
I like that though. Everyone, I'm for 3 mana. I'm possibly getting 3 lands if you guys want lands, and you guys are all getting 2. Everyone wins.
Yeah.
I like Ramp. I haven't seen that. That's Commander Legends, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I did see that.
Again,
there's too many cards.
Again, lands are permanents. All I'm saying.
Fair.
You're all getting 3 treasures with this land. Pray I don't change my kindness.
Actually, I'm going to take that next one too.
Go ahead.
We got my favorite commander here, Selvala Explorer, turned 1 and a green and a white for an Elf Scout, which has Parlay. Each player reveals the top card of their library. For each non-land card revealed this way, add 1 force to your mana pool and gain 1 life. Then each player draws that card. It's a 2/4.
I also try stuff this card in like every deck I can. I love it.
I like the amount of mana that you can get, especially if you start playing in like larger groups.
Mm-hmm.
5 or 6.
I find that this card just often gets the table back to where it should be. Right? If people are missing it, you're helping people out. I like to help other people draw, and I am really doing that in this theme. Without the traditional group hug draw cards, which is fun. We also have Slicer. Obviously we had to have Slicer if the commander is Slicer-esque, right? Slicer has 2 sides. Number 1 is Slicer Hired Muscle, 4 and a red for a legendary artifact creature robot 3/4 with more than meets the eye. It has double strike. It has haste. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you may have that player gain control of it until end of turn. If you do, untap Slicer, goad it, and it can't be sacrificed. Looking at you, Sherman. Looking at you. And then if you don't, then you convert it, and the converted side is where? How do I flip this? There we go. You can cast it converted for 2 and a red. You can get it out really early. It's living metal, first strike, haste. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, converted at the end of the turn. It's a 3/2 that way. A double strike in 3/4 from Brian Sean Connor's deck. Do this. It hurts. It hurts. It's painful.
I don't like it at all.
It gets out of control so fast. Yeah.
The only commander that I thought that I could potentially like survive that deck would be Ariette by enchanting him.
The deck for that one, like, it's so easy to turn 1, like with a Jeweled Lotus, with a Mana Crypt and a land. Like, you can really get that going fast, and it hurts. It's Slicer hits like a truck, even though it's a car.
And a van.
And a van. Slothy, please.
Sure. The next one we've got is Stark of Wrath, 1 double red for 2/2 legend. Tap to destroy target artifact or creature. That permanent's controller gains control of Stark of Wrath permanently.
We got another removal. What are you saying, Sherman?
That's interesting. I don't remember. I don't ever remember this card.
Yeah, right. It's like a common.
Huh.
It's 69 cents.
Sherman, you want to end our creature section here?
Yeah, we got nice old classic Zedru, the great-hearted. 1 red, white, and blue. So legendary creature, Minotaur Monk 2/4. At the beginning of your upkeep, You gain X life and draw X cards, where X is the number of permanents you own that your opponents control. And for a red, white, and blue, target opponent gains control of target permanent you control.
I like that.
Donation on a stick.
The creature type's really like bothering me because I personally never actually knew it was a minotaur. For some reason,
like a
I was
goat.
like, it's a gazelle.
Hmm.
Like, like it's a goat. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look Minotaur-esque.
doesn't have the shoulders.
Yeah, right. Like a Minotaur's burly.
A minotaur is a predator.
It's a
This
sexy
is prey.
minotaur.
Ooh.
What?
Said sexy
It's a
Minotaur.
sexy minotaur.
So broad shoulders.
Right. We jump into our enchantments. Pretty small enchantment section. Brian, take us away, please.
Oh man, Court of Grace. I actually pulled one as a list card, so it was just very nice to get. 2 and 2 white. When Court of Grace enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. If you're the monarch, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying instead. Curious, when you hit someone and take the monarch,
Mhm.
that is changing control of a token, is it not?
Monarch,
Permanent?
sadly, not a permanent.
Okay.
We aren't. Although, if I could say, Brian, I will let you take the monarch. I am donating the status. I'm gifting you the crown. You're going to definitely need these flyers because you're going to annoy people pretty quickly with this deck with passing things around like this. And that 1/1 flyer is the handy blocker. Right. We've also got this Court of Vantress. I really like this one in this deck. 2 double blue.
This is a gross card.
But when
It's so good.
When it enters, you become the monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose up to 1 target enchantment or artifact. If you're the monarch, you may create a token as a copy of it. If you're not, you can have Court of Vantress become a copy of it, except it has that ability. I like this. It doesn't have to be one that I control. It's pretty great to get.
Mm-hmm.
It was very nice to pull out a Court of Vantress while I was playing my my Italian deck and being able to make a token copy of Doubling Season.
Yeah. Well, we have the fact that we're going to be able to to get our other courts, like you can keep making more courts, which is nice, but like it's kind of fun that way. But we have a lot of artifacts we want, even if we don't look at anyone else's enchantments or artifacts. There's a lot of cards we'd love to copy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Slothy, please.
Sure. Next up, we've got Custody Battle. 1 in a red for an aura. Enchanted creature has at the beginning of your upkeep, target opponent gains control of this creature unless you sacrifice a land.
I have treasures. I'm good to sacrifice it.
Right. But I do like that can just get passed around so easy. Oftentimes, I might even put that on my angel.
Then it's still technically
That
2
makes sense,
permanents that
but
you're
they're gonna pass it
donating.
around anyways.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to donate 2 permanents. I just don't want this thing to get swung at me. The next card, I am blown away that this is a legal card. I don't know why it is. I don't know how I missed it. Sherman, please, because I know you'll enjoy this.
Yeah, because it was from the unsets, right? So it's an exchange of words. For 1 and a blue, whenever exchange of words enters the battlefield, choose 2 target creatures. For as long as exchange of words remains on the battlefield, exchange the text boxes of those creatures.
Do you know how funny that is? Do you have any idea how?
Commander is now this.
Well, first off, again, I don't care about the ability of my commander. I don't want to get hit with my commander. But I could put this, I could take Brian's commander, like Brian has a Selvala out or something, or an Ariette, let's say. I exchange words. Now Ariette gets passed around the table every turn. My angel's safe, and I'm still triggering my donation. This is such a fun card. Every part of this is hilarious. Giving someone like playing an enchantment again that's going to give me Brian Seedborn. Brian still has Seedborn. I haven't taken Seedborn. I haven't destroyed Seedborn. We're all happy here. He's still got a Seedborn.
I'm just taking the words.
I'm just taking the words. This is one of the silliest cards I've seen. I was like, while I was making this list, I came across this card, which was like, again, gift exchange. I'm trying to exchange things. And I was like, there's no way that this is legal. I'm going to start throwing this in so many decks. It's going to be insane.
Daniel caused this card to spike from 79 cents to
again, it's so funny. It's so funny to be able to. It's one of, in my opinion, the saltiest removal things I've ever seen. Do you know how hilarious it is? Do you know how hilarious it is if I'm turbo ramping and I get like an Ulamog out and I'm just like, I pass the turn and I'm sitting here with my Ulamog waiting to attack, and Brian switches it on a Llanowar and a 10 mana Ulamog now taps for 1 red while his Llanowar elf has like Annihilator 8 or whatever. You know how hilarious this is? It's one of the best cards I've seen in so long. It's so stupid.
Oh, that would be rough. Please sacrifice your Llanowar Eldrazi.
It's I just love this card. The flavor text as well. It's before criticizing walk a mile about 1.6 kilometers in their head. That way when you do, you're a mile away and you have their head. This is
that's funny.
It's one of the funniest commander nukes I've seen though. Just again, I'm not, because you can't commander tax around it. You're just losing the ability for something that's trash. And it doesn't have to be my creatures. I can just give, you know what I mean? Like if Slothy's playing Ovika, now Brian's playing Ovika. Too bad.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it so much.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right, that's amazing. I'm gonna have to start getting some of these cards too, now that I know that they're legal.
Sherman, please.
Oh, take the next one too? All right. Next one. This one I used to play. I loved it. Puka's Mischief for 3 and a blue. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may exchange control of target non-land permanent you control and target non-land permanent an opponent controls with an equal or lesser converted mana cost.
I'm really happy you took that card because I had no idea how to pronounce that first word.
Okay. Does anyone want to guess how I use this card? How this card be used?
Treasures.
No, substantially worse. Beginning of my upkeep, I can exchange control of target non-land permanent I control, and I'm giving away a 4 mana commander, and it comes back to me every time. The commander's re-giving itself away. 4 or less every turn, I'm taking whoever is beside me. Whoever's beside me is losing a permanent 4 or less every time, because I'm giving you the commander already. Boo-hoo. Boo-hoo that you're, yeah, you know what I mean? Every turn, I get my commander back. Giving my commander away does not matter.
Amazing.
Yeah, not only am I being super annoying, but I'm also getting the fact that I'm going to Puka's Mischief, possibly your commander, for my commander. You've lost your commander. Technically, you are still giving me something if we're exchanging control. So you're going to get, but regardless, like I'm, it's all coming back to me, and I'm going to constantly be getting my treasure, my draw, and my life. That life's going to be important. I need that life. I'm making powerful enemies with this deck.
From now you are. Now you are.
We haven't. There's another section. There's a reason we didn't. Yeah. I'll finish this one because Brian took my good foil one. We've got a nice Rites of Flourishing. 2 and a green. Again, another card I have to put in a group hug-ish deck. It's group hug adjacent, I'm gonna say. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws an additional card. Each player may play an additional land on each of their turns. Again, I don't care who has this. I don't care who has control of it. All Puka's Mischief this away. You know? I love it.
So mischievous.
Yeah, let's do our instants, our lands, then our sorceries, and then we're out of here. Then we're done. We're home free. There are some lands we got to talk. So, Slothy, start us off with the instants.
Sure. The first instant we've got is An Offer You Can't Refuse. A single blue. Counter target non-creature spell. Its controller creates 2 treasure tokens.
I know that's aimed for my soul ring.
No, I'm just, I'm only trying to help you with treasures.
Single time.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I'm just trying to help people get treasure tokens. That's okay. Brian, please.
Oh, then the next one that we have. No, I refuse.
Brian is the sole reason I've started playing this type of card, and I put it in every deck right now. I'm packing heat.
Please, Daniel, take it.
Back to Nature. 1 and a green, instant. We destroy all enchantments. I only got 6. I don't care.
I don't like this at all. I usually average 15.
That's a rough one. There's a lot of decks that get stalled out by your greater auramancy kind of, target it if you want. No, I'm good.
Yeah, no, I'll just wipe.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Don't like it at all. That's why I'll move on to brand here. We got 1 red. Gain control of all permanents you own, and you can cycle it for 2. I don't like that either.
Sometimes I might add that to be honest, that's probably going to save me from my own commander. I'm thinking that I'm getting turn 4 or turn 5 my own commander damage to the face.
I've never seen a red fog.
Yeah, right. Sherman, you want this one?
We have your classic Chaos Warp, 2 in a red. The owner of target permanent shuffles it into their library, then reveals the top card of their library. If it's a permanent card, they put it onto the battlefield.
Are you saying that this is a donation?
It's not. You may be getting a permanent. I can throw this at your treasure token. I can turn your treasure into Avacyn. Ooh.
Look at my magic.
Yeah.
I could turn this gemhide sliver into a lot. Oh,
I can turn your omniscience into bad feelings for the rest of the night. Ooh. Oh, I love it so much. We also have this. We've got a desertion. 3 double blue. You counter target spell. If an artifact or creature is countered this way, put that card onto the battlefield under your control instead of into its owner's graveyard. The errata should be, if it's countered this way, that player donates it to me. I'll let you have the trigger. I'm not a stingy man. You can have your trigger when I desertion you.
Theft is not donations.
It's charitable. It's tax write-off.
The Sherman enjoyed that one.
Take it away, Slothy.
Sure. Next up, we've got Disenchant, 1 and a white, destroy target artifact or enchantment.
Yeah. This is an expensive one, but again, we've got so many creatures, so much treasury. That removal we need, but that's not what I'm caring about. The one I care about is gather specimens. 3 triple blue. This is specifically for the reanimate player in your life who wants to bring everything back. It's an instant. If a creature would come into play under an opponent's control this turn, it comes into play under your control instead. That's not non-token.
Ooh, so Living Dead.
Any of those things, yeah. Living Dead, if you want to do like a Clone Legion even, you want to copy someone's board state, my board state. You Avenger of Zendikar with 30 lands, that's fine. I don't mind the plant tokens, not at all.
On my turn, I got some lands. We'll make them bigger.
I really like Gather Specimens, and you don't really get to see it played very often.
Oh, I see that you have that new one in here, the history one.
Yeah, take it away, please.
Good old Guff rewrites history. He looks like a crazy man with crayons for the art.
Yeah, Guff is crazy.
Oh,
in the story, he's
sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, he's nuts.
Talk down to him.
he's one of the people who was in like Urza's weird battle mechs.
Oh, okay. So 2 and a red instant for each player. Choose target non-enchantment, non-land permanent that player controls. Those permanents owners shuffle them into their libraries. For each player who controlled one of those permanents, exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. Then puts the rest on the bottom of their library in a random order. Each player may cast the non-land card they exiled without paying its mana cost. It's a little bit of a better Chaos Warp.
It hits a lot. It hits you as well. And the problem is that it's guaranteed to get them something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it could also be a spell, which is nice. It doesn't have because Chaos Warp's permanent, where this is cast.
But that's what I mean with Chaos Warp. They can whiff, right?
Yeah.
With this, they cannot. They will get something. If the table's being cool, treasure tokens for all. Let's roll our treasures into something cool. If it's not, then I'm shuffling something they care about. I take something they love from them.
Doesn't sound like a group hug deck anymore.
It's group hug adjacent. Brian, you want this next one? Sherman, you take this next one. I think you'll like this.
Okay, I do like this card. It's Mystic Reflection for 1 in a blue. Choose target non-legendary creature. The next time one or more creatures or planeswalkers enters the battlefield this turn, they enter as copies of the chosen creature. And it has foretell for a single blue.
Oh, I love hosing commanders with this. Oh, I love it.
It's such a fun card. Such a fun card.
You know how insulting it is to try and cast let's say Brian's playing Gave, for instance. Brian's trying to play Gave, and Gave enters as a whatever the goblin cadet is that just changes. Yeah, see, Brian's getting it. Sure. We might not talk for a week, but but I'm gonna have a really good time playing this. I can't wait to play this one. I was talking to the Rogues Passage guys and like Emery and stuff, and Emery's like, yeah, like I can't wait to see your new deck. I promise that this is not the truth. I promise that they were good sports with the skip your turn deck, but I don't know how good sport they'll be in this one. We're only halfway through our instance, I think, too. I'll take this naturalized. We've got 1 and a green. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Again, just a little get things out of there.
And then we got Oblation, 2 and a white. The owner of target non-land permanent shuffles it into his or her library, then draws 2 cards. I give you the donation of 2 cards.
Yeah, see, like this could have been a great spot for a Beast Within, something like that, but no, that's not who we are. We don't destroy.
What?
We don't destroy. We only gift card draw.
Sure.
Slothy.
Who's sailing?
Then we've got Sail into the West, 2 green and blue. Let's go Will of the Council. Starting with you, each player votes for Return or Embark. If Return gets more votes, each player returns up to 2 cards from their graveyard to their hand. Then you exile Sail into the West. If Embark gets more votes or the vote is tied, each player may discard their hand and draw 7.
I like this card a lot.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Are you looking at the next one, Sherman? What one are you oohing to?
Sudden substitution. 2 blue. Has split second. Ooh. Exchange control of target non-creature spell and target creature. Ouch. Then the spell's controller may choose new targets for it. Wow. That's brutal.
Need I remind everyone, we always get our commander back. Cyclonic Rift? No, you won't. Oh, you're playing counter spells? Lovely. I've got sudden split second. I love sudden substitution. One of my favorite things to do with it is the Glorious End combo with it. You cast Glorious End and then trade a creature over, give whoever, because again, you exchange control of target non-creature spell. So let's say Sherman's going for a win. I give Sherman the sudden end or Glorious End, ends the turn. He loses on his next end step. And then I get whatever his win con thing was. Again, do you know how rough it is to have your doubling season like forcibly donated to me?
Theft.
That's donation, Brian. We're all friends here. You're getting a trigger. As if you call it theft, you're not getting your draw trigger. You're still losing the doubling season.
All right.
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
And then, do you want to take this last one here, Brian?
Sure. We got Wrong Turn, which is 2 and a white. Target opponent gains control of target creature.
I like it.
Again, are you going to be giving us some of your creatures, right?
I could be. I could also help Sherman out by giving him your commander. Who knows?
No, that's not a donation.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you drained Sherman a lot with Ariette last time. I'm actually playing Ariette's gifts.
If the gifts were in this color, 100% it'd be a much different deck.
Yeah. Also, sorry, 2 and a blue, not 2 and a white. Most of the bulk of the deck is in lands. There's a few that are really good, so I'm just going to quickly rip through some. Boseiju, just for extra removal, that's very hard to counter. You don't need it. It's $50. It's like a huge chunk of the deck. Just put a forest in. It's got shocks in here. Again, you don't need them. Forbidden Orchard is like $5. You do need that one because it's on theme. Forbidden Orchard comes in untapped. It's tap, add 1 mana of any color. When you tap it, target opponent creates a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token. That is surely by every definition a donation.
I'll give it to you there. Yes.
So that's a land that lets me get 3. I'm basically tapping this for 4 mana, a draw, and a life. We're happy. Our other one is Homeward Path, which is important. It taps for a colorless or tap it. Each player gains control of all creatures he or she owns. You can end your shenanigans. You can be like, you know what? I've done this enough. It's time to unsalt my friends and give them their things back.
I was going to ask you about that one. Actually, I guess it didn't copy over to me.
On Homeward Path, you don't have that one?
Yeah, I got Hollowed Fountain on Island.
Well, Homeward Path there. You've got to believe me. It's not in my head.
Oh, never mind. I see. It came in as the Green Dragon Inn.
Oh, okay.
Which is, I guess,
it's
from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. We have again as well the Otawara Soaring City one, legendary land, 3 and a blue. You discard it, return target artifact, creature, enchantment, planeswalker to its owner's hand. one less for each legendary you control. Again, just a nice bounce. It's very difficult to counter. It's not really a spell. But the cream of the crop of this one is Rainbow Veil. You tap it, you add 1 mana of any color to your pool. Control of Rainbow Veil passes to an opponent at the end of the turn. I like it. It's giving it away, and then it's letting people trigger. The big problem with this deck is, like, even before we get to the last section, everyone's going to be able to cast everything, right? Because if you get my Commander and Rainbow Veil, you're making 6 mana. That's a lot of treasure tokens to be putting around. Version 1 of this had Primal Vigor in it. No Primal Vigor.
Where's the Mana Flare?
Nope. The Mana Flares and treasure tokens. It's right. It gives a lot. Like, there's a lot of these things. But yeah, let's jump into our final section here.
I was gonna say you could have easily put in Ian Malcolm Chaos Titian in here too.
Yeah, technically donations. You're donating to the chaos.
Yeah.
I'll start us with our sorceries here. A very cheap section. Again, I don't know where the real Daniel is, but I've been putting a lot of instants and sorceries in these decks.
This is a big difference.
Yeah, right. We start with a collective voyage because we're group hugging at the end of the day, adjacent. 1 green, you join forces. Starting with you, each player can pay any amount of mana. Each player searches for X basic lands where X is the total mana, puts them onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Again, this is for a fast game.
But what's the show where someone's like, Letterkenny, allegedly, but for you it's adjacent.
I've never seen Letterkenny, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah,
I've seen
someone
clips
did something,
and I've
but
failed
allegedly did something.
Allegedly.
Yeah, fair.
Allegedly, and now I'm just whatever you say, it's adjacent. Group hug.
I'll take Cultivate too because it's a boring one that I put in every green deck. 2 and a green, search your library for 2 basics, 1 to hand, 1 to the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. All right, Slothy, please.
Then we've got Cultural Exchange for double blue. Choose any number of creatures target player controls. Choose the same number of creatures another target player controls, and those players exchange control of those creatures.
Can I have one of those animals? Not the lizardy ones, but
You can have the crocodile.
no, I don't want the crocodile.
Crocodilos plus.
Next one, we got Fractured Identity, 3 white and a blue. Exile target non-land permanent. Each player other than its controller creates a token that a copy of it.
I need that.
Let's choose your commander.
I'm just saying, you are technically donating something of someone's to everyone on the table.
Sure. The next one that we have here is Harmless Offering, and I would take it. Let's go. 2 and a red. Target opponent gains control of target permanent you control. Such an adorable face, and then it's going to eat me.
Our next one is the ultimate donation. This is I don't usually add a win con in a group hug deck, but as I said, group hug adjacent. We have Insurrection, 5 triple red, which is again an easy cost to hit with the treasures we're getting. Untap all creatures and gain control of them until end of turn they gain hit.
Maybe they wanted to be on the winning side for once.
Yeah.
Well, that's some harsh words. Who wants to grab this next one? I don't think I've seen it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I haven't seen this one. Ledger. What? Ledger rule main?
Ledger domain.
Ledger domain. Oh, it's a D. 2 and 2 blue. Permanently exchange control of target artifact or creature for control of target permanent of the same type. I like it.
Yeah, it's Squee.
I didn't know there was this many swap cards before.
Well, you would be surprised, Brian. Sherman, you want to take the next one?
We got Modify Memory for 4 and a blue. Exchange control of 2 target creatures controlled by different players. If you control neither creature, draw 3 cards. Love it.
Everything about this is me hitting people's commanders.
You're a terrible person.
Oh, it's so good. Imagine losing your commander to a Modify Memory and then while you're angry, just me counting 1, 2, 3 and looking at my new cards.
Wouldn't like it. Wouldn't like it at all.
I don't think you would.
We've got Pierre's Whim next. 3 and a green. For each player, choose friend or foe. Each friend searches their library for a land card, puts it on the battlefield tapped, and then shuffles their library. Each foe sacrifices an artifact or enchantment they control.
A very trusting boy.
We really need to fetch that Homeward Path or that Forbidden Orchard really, really badly. That Angel's going to hurt
Homeward
us.
Path.
Yeah, right. We've got a role reversal as well. double blue and a red. Exchange control of 2 target permanents that share a permanent type. This could be lands, this could be enchantments, this could be commanders. Who could say? The possibilities are endless.
Oh, dibs. We got secret rendezvous, 1 and 2 white. You and target opponent each draw 3 cards. That's surely a donation, right? But I think rendezvous also has a little something else implied.
Donating a little more. This donation comes with a tip. Sloth, you want this next one?
Then,
Yeah, Sherman, you take it.
oh, it's all good. All right. We got shifting loyalties for 5 and a blue. Exchange control of 2 target permanents that share a card type.
There's a lot going on here, and I want to go out and pick out some new, unique card sleeves.
Yeah, it's gift exchange, right? Everyone's got to fan their decks up upside down after, so we can make sure. I got to count my cards. Everyone's counting. I got 100. I got 100. Daniel? Yeah, probably around there.
We actually got to count now.
Yeah.
It's 102 cards.
It's 109 in this. I donated for rules.
Had extra sleeves left over, guys.
Yeah.
Trust me.
We have a spectacular showdown, which is great for our commander and for everything else. But 1 in a red, put a double strike counter on target creature, then goad each creature that had double strike counter on it. It is very cool to give our commander goad and double strike. But then we can also overload it for 4 triple red and goad everything. Double strike, goad every creature.
Gross.
Bonk, and bonk adjacent.
I need to find this now.
Again, having a 4/4 flying vigilance, lifelink, haste creature with double strike. Because you got to remember, it's still a commander. It is still the commander. So if you're getting, like, if Sherman cracks Brian with this and then Slothy cracks Brian with this, that's 16 on the first one. So it's rough. It's a good one. Slothy, you want this one?
Some other people, please.
Sure. We've got switcheroo, 4 and a blue, exchange control 2 target creatures.
The old switcheroo gets them every time.
Say hello to your new friend. And then obviously you have to have that in here. Tempt with discovery, 3 and a green. Tempting offer. Search your library for a land card and put it onto the battlefield. Each opponent may search their library for a land card and put it onto the battlefield. For each opponent who did search or who searched the library this way, search your library for a land and put that onto the battlefield.
Then everyone who did shuffles. I love Tempt with Discovery. I love talking everyone into it because I'm going to get. I'll tell everyone what I'm going to do. I'm going to get Rainbow Veil, or I'm going to get, you know what I mean, where I'm getting the cards for the deck. So you can stop me if you want. You can not do it, but all you're doing is hurting yourself. I'm telling you what I'm going to get. There's no Dark Depths combos in this deck. I'm simply getting like Rainbow Veil and Forbidden Orchard. And if you don't want to land, you're not getting a Spirit.
I never trust you with a Tempt with Discovery anymore because I've seen Tabernacle come out too many times.
Not with Tempt with Discovery, never.
Well, I'm gonna have to maybe.
I don't play Tabernacle in any decks that I would. Tempt's a friend card. I'm trying to give everyone land. I would crop rotation to a Tabernacle.
All right. The fact that Tabernacle's in this conversation, though, is that there's a problem, Dan.
Yeah, but Tabernacle's not in this deck. Everyone would just get rid of my commander with Tabernacle. They're not paying. My command tax would be out. It'd be like my property tax. It'd be horrible. The city is really wild, and with it, they're being pretty generous with it with the new letter. And then ending our list off, we have Tempt with Reflections because, again, I like the tempting offers, and I'll explain why I have it in the deck in a sec. So 3 and a blue, tempting offer, choose target creature I control. That's important. Put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of that creature. Each opponent may put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of that creature. For each opponent who does, I put a token on the battlefield that's a copy. I'm taking people's creatures, right? This is just simply a way to give them back and then get more of them. Because if you want your card back, here it is. I'm just going to get more of your card. I'm just going to get 6 Esper Sentinels if you're playing your Esper Sentinel. You know what I mean? You have Zulaport? Our Zulaports.
All right. I like that there's different cards in here, but I don't like.
You don't what?
I said I don't like what they do.
I would love the feedback on this one. Like I said, I had a blast putting this together. As soon as I did it, I was like, I have to make this. We immediately.
Daniel, I'm a much nicer person than you.
Huh?
Said I'm a much nicer person than you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I have no bad comments. It's too good. It's too evil.
Yes.
Friendly on the outside, evil on the
Yeah, it's group hug adjacent.
That has to be the title of the episode.
I really like gift exchange.
Elusen, group hug adjacent.
It is group hug adjacent. I like it. That's I was talking to Emery and I was like, yeah, like I built this commander. That's like who I told this first. It's like I built this commander. She's like, you built a group hug, right? And I was like, I just wrote ... and then that Star Wars meme, the Anakin one. Yeah, she said that. She's like,
you said you were the chosen one.
oh, I love it. Slothy, what's your thoughts?
I also really enjoy it. I think it could be fun and annoying. It's a really good value generation.
I think it undoubtedly is giving out treasure tokens like they're candy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3's a lot.
It's
3's a spell. Oh, and 100%, I would put in. You got enough draw on the commander. That's going to be their second card per turn. 100%, I'd be putting in Ian. Let's go.
Yeah, you would be able to hit a lot with Ian. Sherman, what do you think?
Ooh. So many choices. Like, I like the fact that you actually went sort of, try to go in the donation direction for it. I personally, me, I'm a little bit of a degenerate. I would. Your donation is better than Brian's donations.
That's all he needed to hear.
To go more degenerate route. I would make it so that like you're always passing everything to the right. I would put in things that would make it so that you're passing things to the right, but you can only attack people to your left.
Yeah, like the Pramagon kind of things. Yeah.
Orders, so I don't have to worry about that stuff. I would definitely have done other things. Like there are a lot of cards in blue that you didn't have in here. Once again, blue has a lot of exchange. So like political trickery, exchanging lands, things like that, right?
Yeah.
Spelljack for stealing people's spells.
Yeah, Aether Snatch. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. I definitely would have gone more of that route because I'm a bit of a degenerate when it comes to things like that. That's why I play jank. But yeah, like this is a fun deck for sure from the looks of it. I don't know how much fun it will be to play against, but at the same time, it'll make for some very interesting games.
I think this is one of those ones that really scale with the table, right? Like the better cards the table's playing, the better cards I can take and pass around, right? The worse your deck is and like the worst of a game you're having, I think the better I can help you out and get to things. But like if you're trying to play like a big dinosaur deck, this is going to ramp you into it great. And if you're playing something that has like a bunch of annoying permanents, like you're trying to pillow fort, stuff like that, just having your pillow fort redistributed across the table is so funny.
I don't even want to hear this. That sounds terrible now.
It's so funny.
I'm surprised that I was looking at the percentages, and apparently like 19% of all the symbols are green. Like for me, it would probably be like 30% is all. Like you have more blue than anything, which is a little bit surprising.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, green's like second place.
I would have had a lot more ramp, right?
Green's our last place. We have the least amount of green pips in the deck.
Yeah. White has 18, I see here.
Yeah. Again, like I said, it's one that looks like it's really, really fun. I think that it's very, very like on theme, and it's a really, really cheap deck to put together, right? You can pretty easily, you could still play this with Kianos and Melodus, like I said. It would still be fun. You'd still pass things around like as a donation kind of thing. You just wouldn't get the hyper ramp from it, and you would probably target all of your salty take and trade things in one direction if people won't let you play your fun card. But no, I'm glad you guys like this one. I made a second list of it too, which is just like a classic group hug deck. It's probably nearly indistinguishable from most of my group hug ones, where I can just, like it's all your Howling Minds, your Cameo, the Crescent Moons, blah blah blah. But yeah. I really like this idea of donating. I mean, that's what the card was.
Illusion, the Giving, Secret Commander, Ian. Let's get now I got an idea.
But again, like I said, right? Like it's the fact that like Elusen, the Giving was for people who gave and like helped with the charitable things. right? It's the giving theme, you know. It all loops together in one big.
The artwork's
salty
really
ring.
interesting too. And if you're looking at the art, like on the right hand side, it looks like there's a ball of yarn. Like there's just like some interesting items in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the logo too.
I really like all of the artwork on this. It's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's all gifts. It looks like it's like food and stuff, like food, pets, animals. It's giving everything, just giving gifts.
Her hair almost looks like ribbons.
Hair looks like snakes, like Medusa. It's hidden. But yeah, that's.
No, I was quite surprised. I didn't know that there was actually. I didn't know there's that many like gifting cards. Like I've never built a deck in that route. Like, but the last couple of times that we built these decks, it was like either you, Zach, German maybe built one. Not 100% sure, but
like
I know
our
you always built
Christmassy
them,
themes.
so I've never actually built like one of those like gift giving. Like I want to give stuff away. I'm a very greedy person, I guess. I always want to keep my stuff.
Sherman's building the Krampus one. Like I said, with Sherman's use all the time lately that's one of the things that inspired me in this one is a lot of times Sherman does one or two things with theft. It's either like takes it to get the value out of it and gives it back to be nice, or takes your good stuff and throws it away. He uses it as your sack fodder. He's building sacrifice decks, but he's not throwing his sacrifice things away, right? So I didn't go into that sacrifice thing, but I really liked the idea of like borrowing the power from other decks like Sherman likes to do, because it really can scale things up. And I really like that playstyle. It's super fun and comes out of nowhere.
Except as soon as you take one land from Daniel, all heck breaks loose.
Yeah. Colonizer. It's I really enjoy this theme. The card I'm the most excited to play. I literally, like I said, we talked about the episode we were going to do, and we had like basically narrowed one down, and then maybe an hour later I was like, no, we must do this one. And I didn't tell anyone what it was.
Tell us.
Yeah, I was like, I have a new
secret commander.
I was a secret commander. You guys have to trust me. So I hope I did our Christmas episode in a good light, because there's that. But I saw this card, I instantly built it. I instantly ordered the cards. Like I put that list in. I reached out to find a proxy of this card, because again, I sadly was not one of the people on Wizards Philanthropic. Like I'm not the head of one of these charities. I'm not getting it. I get it. But the card I'm the most excited to play is Exchange of Words. And you're going to see me putting that in a lot of decks because it's so salty. There's no reason that's a legal card.
I'm going to start playing that card.
It's a dog. It's like,
I like the butting heads.
But yeah, it's such a silly card. Like the text box exchange is so funny. It's so good. They still get their card. Still has normal power, toughness.
Target creature. Like I want to switch the text box of my forest with your creature.
It's
the Dryad.
Like a Dryad of Elysian Grove, or yeah, that's funny.
Dryad Arbor.
Dryad Arbor.
Dryad. Yeah, you guys are bad people. I really, like I said, I just think it's so funny to hose things. But I like, as anyone who's watched any of our YouTube videos knows, I love to crack people with like a Birds of Paradise or like a Gilded Goose. You know how hilarious it's going to be when someone dares to play some Eldrazi into me and then gets like the Annihilator Goosed? Goose Annihilator 5. Like it's going to be bad.
You know what we haven't said in a very long time? I was thinking about this the other day. Bolt of Birds.
Yeah.
We haven't stated that in a very long time.
Again, as well, if you're playing something like a what's the Elder? Furburrow Elder? Is that
Fabro Elder.
Fabro Elder. That, your Dryad of Elysian Grove, any of those things, losing those abilities is rough. Losing your commander's ability is really, really rough. Like in a lot of games, this can drop down at nothing and just hose someone's their whole deck. Like we play commander around like that, right? The identity of the commander is usually the driving force or the artwork or something, some effect. But like I got a lot of decks that if you take my commander's effect, ugh.
Or if you take any effects, like humility, like turning everyone into a 1/1 elf or 1/1 creature with no abilities. And I think taking someone's Dryad of the Elysian Grove's ability would be fantastic in your deck.
Well, if you think about it, right, like looking at like Ariat, right? For example, Ariat is it's not a gifts deck; it's a pillow fort deck that drains people. But if you lose that pillow fort ability, that's real bad news, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's bad news bears. You play this into Slothy Salt and Pepper deck? What's he doing? Nothing. Look at that smile. He knows I'm adding salt of my own. I just like I said, again, if somebody hit like a commander I was excited to play with this, I'd be upset. I really want to Brady's Hitagetsu thing. That that cool flipping one. I would have loved to give his commander just like a Llanowar elf ability and just say like, Matt, now this is mine. Our commander. It's such a silly. It's a card I've never seen hit the board. I've never seen it played. I'm excited to start playing it. And how do you threat assess that garbage? Yeah.
You never know what's going to take.
Yeah, right. Well, that's it exactly, because it has to enter the battlefield. You don't have to name it. It's when it enters, you choose 2 target creatures. In any deck that's got like your double up things like an Elusen, like Mother Machines kind of thing, or the new blue one, like you're going to be able to choose this twice. Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, and again, right, like Court of Vantress can keep copying this kind of thing. Like,
I was just going to say that. That's a problem.
It's so funny to just keep doing it. And the really funny thing is if you can keep copying this exchange of words, like if you had a, what's the Yenna? Is it Yenna?
Yeah.
The one that taps to make enchantments. Yeah. If you just added that into like Bant enchantments is like a staple color, right? And if you just kept doing this, it'd be really funny to like just constantly give them that trash effect and keep taking it.
Or also Adrix and Nev.
Yeah.
Copy enchantment, make your token copy, make 2 token copies.
Yeah, it's just I really see a lot of times I like to assess things like floor and ceiling of a card, right? And I see the floor of this as just hilarious, and I see the ceiling as like just obnoxious. I see like the ability to I'll say it ruin someone's night. The ability to ruin someone's night with this card is astronomical. Like you can memorably salt someone with this card.
This guy took all of our commander's abilities and he just gave us 1/1 mana dorks.
Do you know how mad you would be if you're like, you finally, you're not having a good night. I've been bullying the table, XYZ, whatever happens, right? And you know what? It's time to ramp it up. I'm grabbing Turgrid. And then I take your Turgrid's effect. Your Turgrid becomes like a 0/1 goblin. It's like a kobold. Like, you know how mad you would be if your Turgrid became like something like a Root Weaver Druid?
Or even a creature that only has an enter the battlefield ability.
Yeah.
Like it has nothing.
Yeah, I turn it into Lauren. So now the best you can do with it. It didn't enter, so you're not getting the ETB destroy. Now the best you can do, you lose Turgrid and you and target opponent can each draw a card. You know, I'd probably not want to play with that person anymore. And that's the interactions I want with this card because it's so funny. I could do an hour long episode on why I think that is one of the silliest cards I've seen. It's going to be on when we eventually do our favorite cards of the year. This is one of them.
I can see it.
It's one of my favorite cards, and I've discovered it December 20th.
It's my favorite card for a year now.
I don't own a single copy of it currently. Favorite card. That's the list I sent off is so funny. It's this, and then it was 21 of these.
Was that sent to?
It might have been.
No.
I'm trying to take them all. I need to have them.
No, you don't.
It's like Pokemon or other people's creatures in this deck. I gotta have them all. All right, I will wrap us there because, like I said, I was gone for too long. Thanks everyone for getting through this silly list. Let me know, would you allow a Rule 0 commander like this? What would be your definition of donate? And do you think it's important to get those mechanics kind of tied down? Tell us what you would put in the list. Would you make this saltier, or would you be a good person and just group hug your friend because you actually like them? Yeah, if you like this episode, rate it on Spotify. Definitely like, share, subscribe. It really, really helps out. Videos are always up on YouTube. Our website has lots of articles, lots of fun things to see just in general. If you want to support us above and beyond liking and sharing, because you guys should all be liking and sharing. 5 stars for everything. This is a great deck. Come on. Yeah, right. But yeah, come join us on Patreon where we get to brew stuff like this. We get to talk about it. We're going to be in the new year streaming a lot of these things, so you should be seeing this. This is probably one I can't play on webcam, sadly. Like to to try track the board state of like pass around on webcam just doesn't really track. But you'll see my friends in real life get salty with this for the camera games, so look forward to that. And yeah, that's about it. I'm back.
Baby.
Oh, we're so back. Thank you guys for getting to the end of the episode. I missed y'all, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit.
Peace, guys.
Yeah.
Laters.